Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for August 9th, 2020. I gotta say, I had a pretty good week this past week. I hope you did too. So let's get right into the news. First off, I want to start with some stuff you can get at ShowZ. As you can see, I've gotten quite a few things in to review at ShowZ. I've got those reviews posted. I look forward to a lot more things coming in from them. So right now you can get this Avengers Endgame pre-order for Iron Man Mark 85. This is $69.99. It's around 70 bucks. It's considered 1/9 scale, so it's somewhere between the 6-inch and 12-inch, so probably around 9-inch, I would say. You can also get this guy in silver. So here he is with silver. It's a Mark II with garage, and that's only $46.99. It's still a 1/9 scale, and so they're considering 1/9 scale 7 inches. So it's about a 7-inch tall figure, and this is the garage that goes with it, so you can store this. That's pretty cool. They also have a Flames Toys Jazz, which doesn't have a price yet, but it's there's a $2 pre-order for this thing. So if you've been in the market for these Flame Toys, the Kuri line, then you might want to go after this guy. And we have up for about $63, you can get Zeta's version of RC. I know, it's Toy Worlds, and I know this one is a recolor. They say in a cartoon colors. And I think that this figure looks fine. A lot of people hate this thing, and that's fine. If you hate it, you hate it. But I like this figure because she's tall. And she's, out of all the RCs, the only RC I think that looks halfway decent next to Rodimus Prime. She does have some good points going for her. She was my first true Masterpiece scaled RC, and when I pictured a Masterpiece RC, I pictured her height. But I really didn't picture this for the car mode. They threw in the swords to, I guess, cover up the back end. I kind of would have liked Zeta to just go one step further, give her a shield that converts into a back end or something. But that's the only downside. Really, if you're going to keep her in bot mode and just display her in bot mode, she's fine for that. But the big complaint, of course, is the alt mode. But she's still a budget option. I know there are a lot of budget collectors that don't want to spend $100+ on every single figure they buy. 60 bucks. So we've got more pictures of Lemon Tree's Shockwave, and for some reason I thought we've seen colored pictures of the purple on it, but maybe those were just renders, so those, I guess I have to chalk those up to being renders. Interesting that we have some sort of the clear transparent yellow hands and chest. I think it does look good in spaceship mode, and if I get this one, which I'm still kind of back and forth, I'm thinking about it, I really would like to see what this company has to offer, so it'd be nice. But I think I have it in this mode stored most frequently, and there's very few items I store in alt mode, but this alt mode does look that good. Next up, we have Fans Hobbies MB13 Ace Hitter Master Force Headmaster Junior Ghost Shooter / Siren Gray Prototype. And kind of like if you like the Fans Hobby Minerva, Athena, or whatever they're calling their version. So if you like that one, you're probably going to like this one. They're sort of cut from the same stone, very similar in design, probably going to be similar in transformation. I actually didn't go for that one just yet. I'm on the fence, but I think that this kind of answers that question. The question is, if third-party companies make obscure figures, will they sell? And that's kind of a toss-up in the air. I'd like to get comments down below. Are these not selling because they're obscure? So we've got pictures of G Creations GDW02B Dust, and so this seems to be a smoke screen type recolor, and if this is something you're in for, it looks pretty good. This mold has been used before. There it is, and I have to admit that the smoke screen color looks great. The way that this thing is painted, it makes it look a lot better. I've seen this mold before, and I kind of like this. We got more pictures of TransArt Toys BWM02 Skateboard Gorilla, and the box right here. Here's the thing about this. It's Beast Wars, but why are we not like filling out the regular Beast Wars? We're jumping into Transmetals. I think I've said that before when I've talked about this character, but I just keep wondering, we would want to dial out a shelf with a bunch of characters, but now we're jumping into Transmetals. Do we have Transmetals to put them next to? Will we get a Transmetal Megatron from TransArt? Who knows? I do think it's a beautiful looking figure though. And he looks pretty much the way he should in both modes. So Like Toys is putting up some pictures of an upgrade kit for a Unique Toys, their version of Abominus. And I have to say that the end result is going to be pretty good. And if we can actually get our hands on it, you could scale your Unique Toys Abominus up to look amazing next to all of the other modern day miners. So that would be worthwhile. They're showing off their kit also, which looks like it's much further along now, for the Predaking. So that would be awesome to get your hands on these kits and just take what you have and move it into the new direction. Now, I think this whole kit is actually to sort of give it like a Zeta type of body that you connect all these into, and that would be awesome. Next up, we've got pictures of XTransbots Dr Egg, and I want to point out that this thing looks pretty good, and we actually have a good size comparison now. Instead of just wondering, we know how big he is. Now this is versus Takara's Hot Rod, not the MP09. This is the smaller kind of carbot Hot Rod, and he looks pretty big next to Hot Rod. So that got me thinking, let's put one and one together, and we end up with a pretty easy way to get a size comparison of Dr. Egg to Impossible Toys version of the Quintesson, and there it is. That makes Impossible Toys look small, and it makes everybody that's told me the Impossible Toys version is a chug version correct. So they were right. Impossible Toys did make a lot of chug stuff. I mean, they really didn't get into Masterpiece. And so with that, I have been displaying a chug on my Masterpiece shelf. And the other thing is, I've gotten so used to the silver of this figure of the Impossible Toys that the color of XTransbots Dr. Egg is throwing me off, even though it is more cartoon accurate. But I'm guessing, if I know XTransbots and I know Keith, this thing's going to get recolored 3 to 7 times, so you'll have the silver one eventually. But oh no, we are not done. We have a video from XTransbots with a prototype test showing you the heads turning. I think this is absolutely awesome. So as the head turns and LED lights up, you have a different color for each of the faces. It would be awesome to have a couple of these. Now, I don't know if you just push a button and the rotation causes this thing to do what it does, and then you can push another button to stop it, or another button just to light up the one that's there. So we'll find out a lot more about it when we have it at hand, but it's big. It has an awesome function of this lighting gimmick. I also heard there's supposed to be sounds. Now, this video doesn't show any sound. There is no sound in this video, so we don't know. But that would be awesome too. If they've already got electronics in it and they throw a little voice clip in there, wouldn't this be an extremely awesome display piece and a whole lot of fun? So there was a toy fair of sorts, toy show in China, and I looked through 135 pictures, and this Unicron statue, which we've seen before, but now it's on display there, is the coolest thing out of all of the stuff that I saw, and I really think that this statue looks good. I don't know how big it is, I can't remember, but I'm guessing with some of the statues I saw in those collection videos is that this is at least 2 foot tall, if not 3 foot tall. I mean, Unicron should be the biggest, right? Right? And we also got a random picture of these 3 Autobots, and this is the Transform Element Mirage next to Takara's version of Sunstreaker, next to Bad Cube's version of Sideswipe, and this looks good. This is a beautiful team, and I just have to say, I think Transform Element has the ability to be the next big player in third party if they can keep up with production and handle some business, they might have a bunch more awesome releases on the way. So we do have TFCon Baltimore, supposed to happen in October. Don't know a whole lot of details of what's going to go on with that situation, but it's on right now. So maybe it'll actually go on. That'll be great. Love to see how that goes. Obviously, I'm not going to attend. It's a little bit too far away for me to travel, but I hope that everybody that does go has fun and enjoys it. So we have HasLab Unicron production update number 3. Basically, it was an unboxing, and to show you kind of what all there was, there's a video to go along with it. In fact, the pictures don't match the video in any way, shape, or form. They do talk about the instructions for the transformation instructions, but they don't really show much, so this is kind of what we see. But it's nice that they're answering some of the questions, and one of the things that they talked about was trying to match the yellows. And in my opinion, it's not yellow that they're trying to hit, it's orange. Match the orange. And some of the parts they have do have that orange look to them, so I'm really hoping that the colors do land closer to the orange, sort of like in this picture. That would be awesome. I am looking at some of these parts that are laid out and kind of wondering if there's a way to unhook some of the kibble, and how would this thing look if you just remove the kibble. Those are the questions that I have. But then again, when I get mine, if it's pinned, like, I'm not going to push that pin out and mess up a $600 figure just because. But if it's something that's pretty simple, like an unclipping, I might give that a go. Also, I have to admit, this planet mode is beautiful, and I think that's where they really put the most of the design elements into the planet mode. And if you really think about it, this planet mode is going to blow away the Zeta Studio Cell, which I did review this past week, and I like it. I don't dislike it. I have no hatred towards it. I just know I'm going to love this planet mode so much more. And here's the back of it, flying out over the ocean and whatnot, I guess you could say. And they did show off a little more about the head and stuff, but I don't have pictures of all that. You can go check out that video, though. So we're going to get right into Chug. Last week I did kind of an overview of what's going on with Legends, but there's not much new news or any new news really this week in the Legends scene that I have found, and so if I miss anything I'll throw it in next week. But there's some pictures of Devil Dealer, and I actually saw him. I should have picked him up, but I didn't. It starts to wear on you a bit when everything's 50, 80, and 160, those big boys, and you think twice about the purchase. I thought twice, and of course it's gone. But anyway, he does look good. He looks great. I look forward to having a look at him. All his modes do look pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. I do look forward to getting my hands on him. Eventually I will, and compare him to a Gimpy G1 that I have. That'll be fun. Also, Snapdragon's starting to show up at, well, everywhere. Targets and at Walmart's. I'm hearing. I found one at Target, so I'll be reviewing that guy pretty soon too. And I think he's a pretty good looking figure. I'm pleased with him at the $30 price point. But I guess I won't give too much away. So we got a lot more pictures of stuff we've seen before, but they're good pictures, so let's have a look at them. Here is Airwave in his bot mode, and we're continuing on with the bases from the Micromasters. Here he is as his base mode, and actually this guy does have like 3 different formations of his base mode. This is the picture that they showed us. We also have the alicon, and I think this is going to be a troop builder for a lot of people, so maybe it'll be hard to get, or maybe it'll be easy. They made plenty. Maybe there's 2 per case, which if they were smart, they would do that, because this is the type of figure people would want more than one of, I think. Looks pretty good, and for a $20 price point, definitely awesome. And he is also going to be included in that Judgment set that's coming out. So this picture here was set up as a rumor kind of deal. That, well, this is a rumor, this is a picture, which is a rumor, and it's people trying to say it's a digibash and renders. Doesn't really matter if it's a rumor or not. You know it's Hasbro, and Hasbro is going to take this mold and recolor it in any color they can make, anything they can think of, any name they can attach to it. You know it's going to get made. So whether or not it's a rumor, you know it's coming. Here are pictures of Earthrise Double Cross in the packaging, and I don't really know this character, But it's kind of cool how many two-headed Transformers do you even know of? And so, well, now you say, I know one, or do you technically know two? And he transforms into a multi-connection port. Looks like you could connect 4 things to this little piece here, and this is where everything will converge. That's a pretty interesting idea. So we have Earthrise Leader Specialty Packaging, which that is cool too. And let me tell you something about this. I would have rather that Ultra Magnus that we had come with something like this. That would have been cool because you do get a poster, and you know, if you're into posters, that's cool. If you're not, well, you know, it's just still something that's interesting to have. But you get a background. I think this background is a good part of this set. Not everybody's going to spring for, you know, $50, $60, $70, $100 worth of backgrounds for the set. So if you get a package, it's all included in one. It already comes with your figure. That works pretty good. And we also got pictures of Megatron, and this is the Earthrise version. And you can see what differences there are from this one to the Siege. I do understand that there are a lot of differences from this one to Siege. This one does look a lot more G1. And here's the tank mode. But as many differences there are far more similarities to the Siege version. So it's just a remold of a couple of parts to make it look more G1. And here is his face. From a distance, his face looked a lot better than this. But still, in the end, I think it's a decent shot for 30 bucks. Let's roll into Ironhide. Now, this is some pictures from Ton Review. And I want to point out the Earthrise on the left and the Siege on the right. And I don't have the Siege version of this. I do have the Ratchet. But it looks so much more G1 and Earth than the Siege version. But I always felt like this alt mode would have done a lot of wonders for wheeljack, because that's kind of the look of whatever wheeljack was when he was on Cybertron. That would have made sense to me if they went that route. But anyway, I do like the look of this. And here he is next to wheeljack. Now, I still don't think it's like a knockout, like it's knocked out of the park, because that's kind of where Earthrise is. A lot of this stuff is pretty close to knocking it out of the park, and it's good. So I'll just leave it with that. It's good, and it's also a great value for $20, because, you know, wheeljack's $20 also, and wheeljack looks pretty good. But look how much more bot you get for your bot for buck. And here's more bot for buck. This is really funny. Him next to Bumblebee, and look how little bot for buck you get out of Bumblebee versus him. So you have to kind of say, all right, they average out. They'll average out. I mean, if that's your mentality and how you look at it, then it works. If you're going to buy every one of them, they average out. That'll work. Let's roll right into some Bumblebee pictures. Here is Bumblebee next to Cliffjumper, and I love the alt mode. I think it looks great. I think that they did a great job with it, even though it's parts forming or whatever. There's a possibility that you could transform it without parts forming. Here he is compared to another bug, and I just like the bug mode. I mean, that's what he should be. That's the right thing to do, and of course I like that. Here he is next to Optimus, and so that's a very classic look right there. And he fits in the trailer. I mean, everybody has that question, right? Does he fit in the trailer? I think it's unique that you're going to get a comparison of the Earthrise to a Masterpiece. Wait, no, I do that all the time. So this was the first comparison I thought to do, and it's already here in a picture. But you can see how much taller the Masterpiece is. I think that's one of the improvements that they made with the 2.0 version. Here we go next to Cliffjumper in bot mode, and I think it looks good. I think this whole design really suits Bumblebee well, even though in my mind I kind of think the chest should be able to flip around, but that's not a reality. So
new Transformers Cyberverse Battle Call. Voice-activated play that turns your voice into a battle call.
Bumblebee, activate Energon armor.
Go Autobots!
Convert. Then command to
Power up.
Shields up. You got this, Optimus.
with the new Transformers Battle Call figures. Each sold separately, batteries not included.
getting into some fun Star Wars news here. There is a toy show going on in China, and it's really cool how there's this Millennium Falcon. Now, I don't know anything really about it because all I got is the pictures. But it looks like everything lights up on the inside. It looks massively huge, like way even bigger than the BMF version, the Legacy Falcon. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it just looks really good. I would like to see more about it, get more information on it, but I figured I'd share. I also got this picture of an R2-D2, which looks like a real R2-D2. I wish it was life size, or even if it's half the size of life size, it would be cool. Especially with that really mirrored finish on the head, looks outstanding. Would love something like this for a reasonable price. Of course, I don't want to be spending 10 grand like the R2-D2 Builder Club say it costs about 10 grand to build one. So we got reports of Vintage Collection showing up at Target, which it's nice because I don't know if you are like me and your Target is just a barren wasteland of nothingness. Mine is a barren wasteland of nothingness. I actually was talking to people that work there, and they said, yeah, it's like there's absolutely nothing on the shelf, and there's nothing to put on the shelf. So it's not like stuff's selling out fast. It's just not even showing up Star Wars-wise. And here is a glimmer of hope. A couple of good deals that might help you out. I don't know. But this Combat Assault Tank at Entertainment Earth is on sale for $34.99. First off, I'm surprised it's still in the distribution chains. And this is a thing that people were saying was showing up at the Five Below pluses, I guess. I don't know. But Five Below at $10. I know it's ironic, $10 at Five Below. But it's $34.99 there if you can't find it anywhere else. I'm surprised it's still clogging up the distribution channels. I have to admit I paid $50 for mine. So there it is. And of course, I'm actually somebody who is ashamed to say I spent a lot of money on something. I actually like to say, oh, I got a good deal on it. And people like to brag that, oh, I spent $2 grand on this and $5 grand on that. I like to say I got this thing for like $59.99, not $100. So right now you can get this at Walmart for $59.99. If you're in the market for a Poe Dameron X-Wing, that's I think pretty big. And here is this BB Boo 20 Boo 20. So this is a Droid Factory, sort of a Disney shop exclusive kind of deal, and it looks like a pumpkin, I guess you could say. It's for Halloween. If this is a thing that you'd be interested in, it exists. And lastly, in the Star Wars world, there's a lot of rumors, and I really think I might need to just do rumor videos, because it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. Since there's not as much credible stuff coming out for Star Wars, it seems to be kind of stagnant. The rumors are what keeps it alive, I believe. And the rumor is Target's going to be getting 2 more deluxe scale kind of versions of figures. And the most recent one that they had was the Probe Droid, which I think is excellent. The Black Series Probe Droid is excellent. The Elite Series I feel is better, but they're both excellent for the price point. Just outstanding figures. I love those. And so I'm just kind of wondering what else could they get that's deluxe, unless they're getting just the Zeb, and he's considered a deluxe because he's a higher price point. But what will they be getting if it's not just a Zeb? What would it be that's exclusive? What don't you think about this week's weekly news and review? What other great, awesome things happen out there that I missed? Because I really would like to know. If I missed something, I want to be in the know. Like and subscribe. Tiberium Hanger out.